announcer Bob Papa, along with Teddy Atlas, Lamont Pearson, and Anthony Washington, squaring off in a 6-round lightweight bout. There is Anthony Washington out of Philadelphia. He posts a record of 4-0 with no knockout wins. Turned pro in November of 1997. And out of Capitol Heights, Maryland, 27-year-old Lamont Pearson. Pearson turned pro in 1998, June of 1998. And he has a record of 4-0 with 3 knockouts. Jody Wingfield is our referee, and we are set for the 6-round lightweight bout. If you just tuned in, you missed Reggie Green defending his NABF Junior Welterweight Championship, knocking out Jesus Rodriguez in round number 3.
Scouting report on these guys, what you would expect for 2 undefeated guys. Solid fight, 2 solid guys. And obviously Pearson would be thought of as the better puncher with 3 knockouts and 4 wins. Washington, no knockout. Of course, Washington, the younger guy, 23 years old. Pearson, 27.
Washington in the red, Pearson in the blue. Spacious ring, 21 feet by 21 feet inside the ropes. Still to come the main event, Michael Ward and Andrew Council in a 10-round middleweight bout.
See, Washington carries that left hand low like Larry Holmes used to a little bit, like Tommy Hearns used to. The only problem with that is you usually have to bring it up to jab. You waste a little bit of time. Also, you limit yourself to what you can do offensively. If it's down, there's only certain punches you can throw. If it's up, you can hook off it, you can uppercut off it. There's a lot more you can do with it.
Left hand by Pearson got in after he had some wild misses.
Washington's posing real well, but meanwhile, Pearson's the one who's jumping in and scoring a little bit.
Teddy, in that last segment with Brian and Max, we had some technical problems, and obviously it took 3 times to finally get your answer when Brian Kenny asked you about Tom Patty's comments about you and Kevin Rooney and others who have been trying to make money off the name of Mike Tyson. You had one more thing to add about that, didn't you?
Yeah, I never made a dime. I was the one guy who I think had a little something to do with the formative years of Tyson. I never made a dime. I walked away before any money was made on my side. Those other guys, you know, they made enough to take care of a small little country.
Hey, you left Tyson in his amateur days. You made money off Michael Moore. You led him to a world championship, but really, you left Tyson in his amateur days and really had no stake in what happened to him as a pro.
No, not at all. There's a lot of guys around Tyson that want to reinvent themselves. A lot of funny guys around him. They're pretty funny. They all want to say that they were trainers, they were heir apparents, they were this, they were that, when really it's less glamorous than that. They're just gold diggers. They're just guys that are chasing a buck on somebody else's sweat. Why don't they just be honest and just be whatever they are?
Left hook from Pearson. It had to shock you to hear your name being mentioned by Tom Patty today.
Yeah, it did. He shouldn't have mentioned my name. I didn't mention his.
Well, you kind of told the truth about him in the segment with Brian and Max earlier here on Friday Night Fights on the Deuce. Well, we come to the end of round number 1 in this 6-round lightweight bout between Anthony Washington and Lamont Pearson. Fairly even round 1. Now, Lamont Pearson and Anthony Washington get set for the start of round number 2. Good round number 1 for Lamont Pearson. Fairly even round between the two, but Pearson may have landed the more telling blows. It's about scheduled for 6 rounds. These are lightweights.
Both guys know how to fight. There's no doubt about it. So far, Pearson's been a little bit more aggressive.
Take a look at some numbers in the first round. You see Pearson a bit more accurate than Washington. They threw the same amount of punches. Washington, 23 years of age, 4-0 with no knockouts. Pearson in the blue, 4-0 with 3 knockouts. He's 27 years of age.
And you see Washington carrying that left hand low. Now, defensively, he's okay because he's out of range. But offensively, that's the problem. He's got to pick it up to punch. And as you can see, Pearson had no trouble picking it off because he saw it coming. One of the problems for Washington, he looks good, but he doesn't do a lot. He's moving around, he's using his legs, he's getting out of range.
Did score with a left hand.
There he stepped in. He needs to do more of that, more of moving his hands. Sometimes you make too many moves. He's having his best spot here.
Pearson trying to jab his way in, doesn't work.
Both these guys are mirrors of each other. They're both pretty slick. They're both guys that like to counterpunch. They're having problems leading with each other. They don't want to give one the advantage. And they both have mentalities like they're fighting 10-round fights, but it's only 6 rounds. You got to close the distance just a little bit more and still not be careless, but get on the offense a little.
Pearson falling away. Now the man has been extremely accurate, as you saw the punch numbers from round 1.
This is definitely a better round for Washington. He's settled down a little bit, not wasting as much movement. He's got that left hand down like Tommy Hearns again, and he waves it back and forth sometimes. When he waves it back and forth, he's trying to hypnotize Pearson a little bit. And then all of a sudden, like a cobra, bang, bang, attack, like that. Should do when that left hand of Washington's down is press him a little bit like it's not there.
Well, some posturing in round number 2. Not a lot of punches landed between Pearson and Washington. Round number 4 underway in this scheduled 6-round lightweight bout between Anthony Washington of Philadelphia, 4-0, no knockouts. Lamont Pearson of Capitol Heights, Maryland, 4-0 with 3 knockouts.
Towards the end of the last round, they started to mix it up a little bit.
Well, in round number 3, the percentages remain low as far as punches. But Washington did land 10 more punches than Pearson in the round. He landed 18 of 63. Pearson landed just 8 of 45 in round 3.
Washington just threw a haymaker from left field or from right field. But you don't want to do that with a guy who's looking to counter. You leave him too much open. There's a counter again. Good left hook counter from Pearson. You can see Washington's the bigger guy, a little stronger, a little physically stronger.
He actually weighed in a half pound less than actually weighed in a pound and a half more than Pearson. There's a lunging left from Pearson. Washington missed the counter right.
Pearson's boxing pretty smart. He waits for the miss, and then he comes in there on Washington. And he has the edge just on that.
Take a look at Teddy's scorecard after 3 rounds. Teddy, how do you have it?
Right there. 29-29. I have the last round even.
I gave the last round to Washington. I have him ahead. Very close bout.
It really is an ebb and flow fight. One guy taking the initiative, then the other guy takes turns. So right there, you can see the wide left hook from Washington. He should have paid for that. That's where Pearson has to make hay. Shoot that right hand right down the pipe. Straight punch, get there before the wide punch, and you'll be safer. The feeling, the human nature, the instinct sometimes is pull away from the wide punch. Then you give it distance to land. You step into it, you're actually safer. One of the reasons you could see instinctively when guys know it's good to get close when they're hurt. They're falling close. They know there's less room for punches to come. They have more control. Outside, sometimes they have less control.
Left hand by Pearson, and then he goes tumbling down as he missed with another left hand. You're seeing the effects of 2 guys in their 5th professional fight each. Round number 4 coming to an end. Pearson has landed some pretty good shots in this 4th round. Round number 5 underway between Lamont Pearson and Anthony Washington. Both men undefeated at 4-0 in their professional careers. The 27-year-old Pearson has 3 knockouts. The 23-year-old Washington has none. There have been no knockdowns to this point in the bout.
Washington comes out with the intent to press a little bit, but he has to do it behind the jab, because otherwise he get counted like that.
Teddy Pearson had a pretty good round number 4.
He landed the cleaner punches, good counter punches, like that.
The right hand to the ear, just missed the mark by Pearson, but it's still connected.
Now there's some form developing in the fight. You can see who is who, whose identity has whose identity. You can see Pearson is moving. Washington's plodding forward. Pearson picks his spots, pop, and gets out.
Left hand by Pearson. Teddy's scorecard, I'm assuming he gave the last round to Pearson. Yes, he did. So Pearson ahead by 1. I have it even at 2 rounds apiece.
These two guys, you never know. The roles change quicker than we change our socks. 1 minute one guy's pressing, the next minute the other guy's pressing. You can see there's a little strategy with Pearson. He's moving, he's using his jab a little bit, and he's just looking for spots to be able to stop and punch. Score, get out.
I know you change your socks a lot, so must be changing quite a bit.
4 times during this last round. Again, you can see the counter punching of Pearson. That's what he wants to do. He's inside. The stronger guy is Washington. He'll tie him up. He figures if he can beat him on the outside, why mess with him on the inside? Again, there's the counter punch and get out. Pearson's fighting a pretty good fight right now, starting to separate himself in a tough fight to separate 2 guys.
Don't hold the rest. Don't hold him. That's your last chance. Come on. It's box.
Pearson has landed some of the harder shots in this bout.
You're getting sloppy.
Definitely not looking to punch inside. He figures he has the edge outside. He'll tie him up on the inside like that.
Referee Jody Wingfield gets things squared away. Lets the boxers continue.
Washington should be punching on the inside, though.
Nice left hook by Pearson.
See, this is where Washington should not be cooperating with Pearson and allowing him to tie up.
Well, we come to the end of round number 5 between Lamont Pearson and Anthony Washington, scheduled for 6. Close bout. Teddy, we are set for the 6th and final round between Lamont Pearson and Anthony Washington.
And Washington is coming out without his mouthpiece.
And they're cleaning some water in his corner.
But he's telling him he needs his mouthpiece. He gets it now. It was put in upside down, so now he just fixed it.
Touch gloves. Touch gloves. Box.
Now they touch to begin the final round, and Washington comes right after Pearson.
I think fighters get excited, corners can get excited. They can forget mouthpieces.
Pearson had a pretty good round 5, Teddy.
Washington has to know he's got to press this now.
Take a look at the numbers from round 5. It seemed, though, that Pearson landed the better shots of those 17 to 20.
The difference so far, at least on my scorecard, where Pearson has separated himself just a little bit, is he got a strategy somewhere in the fight. He knew that he would counterpunch, he'd move, he'd pot shot, and he'd create havoc for Washington. He started to do that. What happens then is Washington walks in, he gets pot shotted. Then Washington gets a little tentative, and then Pearson was able to be aggressive. Like that.
Right hand from Pearson.
See, it's can do no right for Washington. He waits, he gets caught. He comes in, he gets counted. He's a little unsure of himself right now, Washington. And that's bad when you're in the last round of a fight. I think you're behind.
He doubles up with the left hand. And Pearson tries to hold on.
Don't fall down like that anymore.
That's where he should have been going earlier, to that body. He's a stronger guy. Pearson's hard to hit. He moves his legs, go to the body.
Washington, the younger of the two by 4 years. He's 23. Pearson, 27. Both men undefeated. All decision wins for Anthony Washington out of Philadelphia.
Pearson's too defensive now. He's not throwing any counters. Don't get a move, but throw those counters. See, that time he did throw the counters. He got caught because he threw one too many. Part of a fighter's job is to know how many punches he can throw. 2, 1, 5. You stay there for one too many, you get caught.
Tell you, a lot of these clinches also due to fatigue now.
I think definitely on the side of Pearson.
Well, Washington may have hurt Pearson.
Pearson just wants to get to that final bell, it looks like. Mentally and physically. He's getting worn down by the big Washington, but it might be a little late. It's not an 8-round fight.
Well, he threw a shot to the body that stopped Pearson. See the inexperience of the 23-year-old Washington throwing some awkward punches, but I think Washington has carried this last round, Teddy.
No doubt about it.
We could be looking at a draw.
Good body shot again. He missed the right hand there. It's a good right hand to the body. He should have started that earlier. If he loses this fight, he's going to kick himself in the backside for not going to that body earlier.
Well, there's the bell. The fans here in Pikesville, Maryland, have enjoyed what they saw in this 6-round bout between Lamont Pearson and Anthony Washington. The judges' scorecards when we return after this timeout on The Deuce. Along with Teddy Atlas back in Pikesville, Maryland. Lamont Pearson and Anthony Washington have finished their 6-round battle. Total punch numbers, and you see Washington landing 30 more punches, 27 more punches throughout the course of the bout. Very close in the judges' scorecards. Let's take a look at Teddy Atlas's scorecard and see how Teddy scored it. Teddy, you had Pearson winning 58-57. You had that even round in round 3. I gave that round to Pearson. I have it a dead draw at 57 all.
I would not be surprised if it was a draw of 1/5. Well, obviously, draws are almost made for fights like this.
Well, we're waiting for the judges' scorecards. If you just tuned in, Reggie Green kept his NABF Junior Welterweight Championship. A left hook knocked out Jesus Rodriguez in round 3. Michael Ward and Andrew Council will square off in a 10-round middleweight bout in our main event. Of course, Brian and Max and Teddy have been talking about Mike Tyson all day, and those two guys, along with Teddy, will have some discussions about the middleweight division. But right now, we are waiting for the lightweight decision between 23-year-old Anthony Washington out of Philadelphia and this man 4-0 with no knockouts in his young career, and Lamont Pearson out of Capitol Heights, Maryland, 4-0 with 3 knockouts in his career. He's 27 years of age. Both men embracing. And Henry Discombobulating Jones finally has discombobulated the scorecards.
Ladies and gentlemen, the official scoring is as follows. Judge Bill Holmes scored the bout 58-56 for Washington. Judge Kenny Chevalier saw it 58-56 for Pearson. And Judge Gary Campaneschi scored the bout 57-57. This bout has been declared a draw.
I'll tell you, we get the draw out of it.
Draws are almost made for fights like this. We said right at the top of this fight that it was a mirror fight. Or if it's a mirror fight, then a draw would fit.
So Anthony Washington and Lamont Pearson leave tonight without a loss. They both get a draw on their undefeated records. Let's check back in with Brian and Max. They have a lot more on the middleweights and the rest of the day in boxing.